Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Finance Zone. Today we're going to be talking about 7 psychological tricks to save money fast. Make sure you stay as you do not want to miss out on this valuable information. Also, remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Number 1, avoid social media. Have you ever tried to maintain a specific social media aesthetic or brand? In fact, when you see other people's carefully curated profiles, you admire them, but tell yourself you'll never do that. You might have been certain you weren't being influenced by influencers until you couldn't see their profiles anymore. This is when you get to realize the tiny ways seeing other people's profiles was affecting you. Your mind grew clearer as you focused less on others' looks. You would also realize the ways you want to present yourself and live your life. You definitely have felt less motivated to buy things to switch up your look or lifestyle and instead focused on what you already knew about yourself while exploring your own identity more. Because if you're being honest with yourself, you'll always truly know you don't care about wearing matching exercise sets or making smoothie bowls. Less comparison equals improved mental health. And this saves you money too. The more healthy you are in all aspects, the better equipped you are to take care of yourself and not have to dip into your mental health fund. Number 2, automatic savings deduction. There are a million reasons to save if you can. From building up a nest egg, to growing your retirement savings, to making sure you have the funds you need for a trip with friends. It's true that many people these days struggle to save because they don't actually have much left over after all their needs are out of the way. If you automate, you'll make saving a priority without trying. The virtues of paying yourself first are regularly espoused, and for good reason. Of course, you have to pay your bills. Things like rent, housing, transportation, and even a phone plan are necessities. But if you have the cash to spare, treating your savings as a discretionary line item in your budget rather than a crucial part of your financial picture will always make you see it as an afterthought. So instead of relegating savings as a thing you may do after all your other spending has happened, analyze your budget. See how much you have left over after your needs and what you could reasonably auto-save towards savings each month. If you automate, you won't notice the difference. Various theories in cognitive psychology are used to explain why people who can't save don't, from loss aversion, being more willing to give up a big win rather than experience a smaller loss, to present bias, accepting a small sum immediately instead of waiting for a bigger amount in the future. Whether you attribute your reluctance to save to an armchair rationale or not, there are certainly benefits to not leaving savings up to your mood. Number 3, think of your true self. You may not know this, but your thoughts can affect your life. Thoughts are things. Scientists have measured vibrations of people's thoughts and emotions, and they have found that positive, happy thoughts, like love and appreciation, vibrate very quickly. However, thoughts like fear and frustration and envy vibrate very slowly. The phenomenon called the law of attraction explains the connection between your thoughts and your life, even your financial situation. In order to be rich, you must first be aware of the thoughts you have about money. If you find that you have any negative thoughts, you need to change them ASAP if you want to become rich. Have you ever started off the month with the best intentions to save money, buying only what you need, steering clear of the sales displays and trying to watch your spending? And then, despite your best efforts, it just seems to happen. Number 4, sleeping on big purchases. It's more convenient to whip out a credit card to pay for a purchase than it is to count out a wad of bills, but this convenience is one of the reasons behind many people's overspending. Big purchases are a big deal. Buying a home, car, motorcycle, or boat without winding up a level of debt you can't overcome means planning, budgeting, and saving. It may be a luxury item like a brand new television, a necessary household repair or update, or another type of large purchase. Whatever that expensive item is, you need to have a good financial plan in place to ensure that you can make the purchase responsibly and without hindering your ability to pay your bills on time and take care of other financial necessities. What's a big purchase? Well, that's up to you to decide. Everyone's financial situation is different, which means so is their definition of a big investment. For someone in really tight financial peril, a big purchase could be just a couple $100s. If you have some money in the bank and stable finances, a large investment could be much more substantial. No matter the size of your purchase, the impact it can potentially have on your finances remains the same, especially if you don't take the right precautions. Number 5, using only cash. If you're having a hard time sticking to your budget, you may find it beneficial to switch to a cash-only system. A cash-only budget can help you stay on track because of the psychological impact of using cash as opposed to a debit or credit card to pay for something. You realize how much it really costs. Switching to a cash-only budget is a move recommended by many financial experts. The first step in switching to cash is determine the budget categories that will actually work as cash-only. You may only be able to make certain payments, such as a mortgage or your student loan, online, or at least by check. But for those categories where you're able to use cash, determine the ones in which you are consistently overspending. This may be groceries, entertainment, eating out, or clothing. Everyone has their problem areas when it comes to overspending. Once you know what yours are, you can switch them over to cash in order to curb your spending. The next step is to stop using your debit card, credit card, or even your checkbook to pay for anything in those categories, no matter what. If you're not able to do that, you may consider leaving your debit card at home for a few weeks and disconnecting any automatic payments you can access online, such as those through PayPal. This will help you break bad financial habits. When using a cash-based budget, you need a way to track your cash purchases and also keep the cash of different categories of your budget separate. A simple way to do this is to use the envelope system. At the beginning of the month, you stash your budgeted amount of cash in the envelope labeled with each budget category. Once the cash runs out for a specific envelope, you're done spending in that category for the month. You should also put your receipts in those envelopes so you can review where you spent the money at the end of the month. Alternatively, you can keep a running ledger as you spend the money. In order to be successful at a cash-only budget, you need to actually get the cash and separate it into categories. This may mean a trip to the bank or the ATM on payday or another set day. Number 6, give every dollar a job. To curb your overspending habits, try to zero out your accounts. And no, we don't mean spending everything in your account until you reach zero. Instead, find a home for every dollar in your budget so you're not tempted to make thoughtless purchases by thinking, if I have the money sitting around, I'll spend it. Allocating your money into smaller categories gives you the information you need to make good spending decisions. For example, if you see $500 in your checking account, you may get the idea that you're flush with cash, so you'll happily shell out $100 for dinner at one of the city's finest restaurants and another $100 on a new wardrobe. But once the bills come in a few weeks later, you realize you don't have quite enough for rent, utilities, and car payments. To avoid this, immediately start telling your money where to go once you deposit your paycheck. Pay all of your bills first, then move the remainder to other accounts, such as a savings account or your retirement fund. By ensuring that every dollar has a home, you'll be less likely to spend away your entire paycheck. To make things easier, you can set up an automatic transfer on payday to divvy up your paycheck into separate accounts so you won't be tempted to spend it. By proactively deciding what you want your money to do and where it should go, your financial awareness increases. And having that awareness goes a long way in helping you make smarter financial choices. Number 7, forget your credit cards, literally and figuratively. When you head out to the mall or the grocery store, take only the amount of cash you anticipate you will need and leave the credit cards at home. Unless you know for certain you're going to buy something using a credit card and you have to pay it off, there is no need to take your credit cards with you. By doing this, you avoid the temptation of using the card for a spur-of-the-moment purchase, which is often the fastest way to find yourself in debt. If you're an online shopper, having your credit card information saved into your shopping profile certainly is convenient. But it's also easier to fall prey to impulse purchases. All it takes is a click and you'll be a few pairs of shoes richer, but $100 poorer. Deleting your credit card numbers makes it slightly less convenient to make purchases. And in the few minutes you're reaching for your wallet and taking out your credit card, you may decide that you really don't need that item. If you already know your credit card number off by heart, cancel your current cards and request new ones. Then, go through your favorite shopping accounts and remove your saved information so you can avoid the temptation of purchasing with a single click. Thanks for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click one of these 2 videos on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. See you there, and thank you for watching.